Hey guys, so today we're going to learn how to solve linear equations with brackets. So this will be combining some of the skills that we learned at the very beginning with algebra, and one of those skills was multiplying algebra when we have brackets. So here's an example, and I'm going to do a three-step process. So step one, we're going to clear the brackets. So I'm just going to use my loop method here to multiply out the brackets. So we have 4 by x, which is going to give me 4x. And then I have 4 by 2, which is going to give me plus 8, and equals. 3 by x gives me 3x, and 3 by 2 gives me plus 6. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8 from both sides, just to get rid of that 8 on that side. So when I do that, I'm going to get 4x. 8 minus 8, they cancel, equals to 3x. And 6 minus 8, remember, if you're not sure about integers, do it on your calculator. Plus 6 minus 8 gives me minus 2. Remember, if I borrow €8 from you and I only pay you back 6, I still owe you 2. So remember, think those little things when we look at integers. Okay, then the last thing I need to do here is I need to get rid of this 3x on this side. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And when I do that, I get 4x minus 3x gives me x, or 1x. 3x minus 3x is gone. And then I'm left with minus 2 as my answer. Okay, so just because I had said it was going to be a three-step. So first step, multiply out the brackets. The second one is letters to the left, numbers to the right, or what we know as the balancing method. And then step 3, we're just going to go ahead and find the x. So if it was the case that this was 4x minus 2x and you had 2x here, you remember that you divide both sides by whatever number is in front of the x. Okay, so this time we're going to try a little bit of a harder one. There's way more terms in this one, but it's okay. It's all it is just a little bit of simplifying at the very end. So very first step we do is we get rid of the brackets, and that's always the case in anything like this where you have to solve for x. The first step you'll always take is to try and get rid of those brackets by multiplying. So we have 3 by x, and that's going to give me 3x. 3 by minus 6 is going to give me minus 18. Now, I'm just going to leave plus 15 there, okay? Equals, because I'm just focusing on the brackets now. 4 by x gives me 4x. 4 by minus 1 gives me minus 4. And then I have this plus 4 here as well. Just going to leave it like that. Okay, now step 2, we're going to go and simplify that equation before we go and balance it. Okay, so simplifying that equation then with like terms, we are going to look at some of the like terms here. So we can see that we have a minus 18 plus 15, and then I have a minus 4 plus 4. So I would go and simplify them first before I do any balancing method. So I have 3x minus 18 plus 15 gives me minus 3 equals 4x, and I have minus 4 plus 4, and they just simply cancel. Okay, and I can just leave it like that. I don't have to write down plus 0 there. Okay, so step 3 then is going to be the letters to the left, numbers to the right. So I see I have a minus 3 here, so I'm going to add 3 to get it away from that side. And if I do that, I must do it to the other side. Now, what I'll get then is 3x on this side. These will cancel. And on this side, I'll just have 4x plus 3. Remember, I cannot add 4x and 3. That does not give me 7x. They're two separate terms. They're not like. Then I'm going to go ahead and get the 4x off this side. So minus 4x from this side. And if I do that from the other side, what I get then is 3x minus 4x gives me minus x, or minus 1x. 4x minus 4x cancels and I get plus 3. I am not finished. That minus x is the same as minus 1x. So in order to just get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by minus 1. And what I'll get, I'm just going to write it over here, is x is minus 3. And that's my final answer on that. So just note that little rule there. When we have a minus x, we can't leave it as minus x. So we divide both sides by minus 1 to get it just to be a positive x. I'll just do one more example. I'll talk through the steps, but I won't write them all down in this case. So first thing we do, get rid of the brackets. So we have minus 2 by 2x gives me minus 4x. Minus 2 by minus 4 gives me plus 8. I have a 15, I'm just going to leave it there. Now I can see this minus 3 is outside of a bracket, so that means I need to multiply it. So minus 3 by 2x gives me minus 6x. And minus 3 by minus 1 gives me plus 3. You have to remember that when we are multiplying, we don't just multiply by the number in front of the bracket, but we also look at the sign. If it's at the very front of the equation and it has no sign, it means that it's positive. In this case, we can see that they had said it was negative. Okay, so we can just go ahead and simplify this first. So minus 4x plus 8 equals, I have a 15 and I have a plus 3, so that's going to give me 18 minus 6x. Now I can go and balance my equation. So start on my left hand side first. I can take 8 from that side, and if I do it from one, I must do it from the other. As a result then, I get minus 4x plus 8 minus 8 cancel equals 18 minus 8 gives me 10, and then I have minus 6x. Going to go ahead and get rid of the x on this side, so I have minus 6x, sorry, that should be a plus. So minus 6x plus 6x, which I know will give me 0, and I'm going to get plus 6x on this side as well. Minus 4 plus 6 gives me 2x. I have 10 on this side, and I know that these will cancel. And the very last part, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And when I do that, I get x is equal to 10 over 2, which is 5. Okay guys, have a go at the questions that I posted on Schoology for you to attempt.